It has passed June, which means it has been my birthday, which also means we're due a birthday book haul. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. On this channel we post writing tips, unboxings, book hauls, book reviews and the occasional vlog, and today I have a birthday book haul for you and I'm so excited because I have some really good looking books to show you guys, so I'm very excited to read them all. Before we get into that book haul, don't forget if you like what you see to subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to, as soon as I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram or Tumblr. I post general bookish pictures as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. Now, let's begin this book haul, and the first book I'm going to begin with is this one here, Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. Now this was recommended to me by Jazz over at Red Panda Reads. She's another booktuber, an amazing person. Look up her channel if you haven't already, the link is below this video. And this is another translated book. It's a Japanese bestseller, so I'm very interested to read it, and of course it has a cat. If you guys have seen my channel before, you'll have seen my Cat Mad book review. The link is above me now. If it has a cat in that book, I will get that book. And what I have definitely found is a lot of Japanese books have cats in them. If you look at this front cover, look how beautiful it is. It has sparkly blue on it. It is so cute. I love it. First of all, I'll read you guys the bit at the back of the book. Are you listening? Kazu continued. When you return to the past, you must drink the entire cup before the coffee goes cold. I don't actually like coffee that much. Kazu opened her eyes wider and brought her face an inch or so from the tip of Fumiko's nose. This is the one rule you have to absolutely obey, she said in a low voice. And I agree with Fumiko. I also don't like coffee, so that would be a difficult task for me. And I'll read you guys the blurb. In a small back alley in Tokyo, there is a cafe which has been serving carefully brewed coffee for more than 100 years. This coffee shop offers its customers a unique experience, the chance to travel back in time. In Before the Coffee Gets Cold, we meet 4 visitors, each of whom is hoping to make use of the cafe's time traveling offer in order to confront the lover who left them, receive a letter from their husband whose memory has begun to fade, see their sister one last time, and meet the daughter they never got a chance to know. But the journey into the past does not come without risks. Customers must sit in a particular seat, they cannot leave the cafe, and finally, they must return to the present before the coffee gets cold. Toshikazu Kawaguchi's beautiful moving story explores the age-old question, what would you change if you could travel back in time? More importantly, who would you want to meet, maybe for one last time? It sounds like such a beautiful read. It is quite a short one with big writing, and I'm very much looking forward to reading it. This one was a birthday gift from my sister Nicole, so thank you so much, I'm very excited. We're going to go to the second book now. This is another book for my birthday from my sister Nicole, and it is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I adore Elizabeth Lim's writing. If you haven't seen, I did review 6 Crimson Cranes, the link is above me now, and I loved that book. I read it within a week. I mean, it is a YA, so it is quite fast to read, but I loved it so much. And this is another one of her books. It looks beautiful. I mean, look at that cover. How gorgeous is that? So I'll read you guys the blurb. A tailor in disguise, 3 legendary dresses, the competition of a lifetime. On the fringes of the Great Spice Road, Maya Temurin dreams of becoming the greatest tailor in the land. But as a girl, the best she can hope for is to marry well. Then a royal messenger summons her alien father to court, and Maya seizes her chance. Disguised as a man, she travels to the summer palace in her father's place to compete for the emperor's favor and the coveted position of imperial tailor. If Maya's ruse is discovered, her life will be forfeit, but if she wins, she will achieve her greatest dream. Yet nothing could have prepared her for the challenge ahead, to sew 3 magic gowns for the emperor's bride-to-be, one from the laughter of the sun, one from the tears of the moon, and one from the blood of the stars. Accompanied by the mysterious court enchanter, whose piercing eyes seem to see straight through her disguise, Maya's journey will take her to the far reaches of the kingdom, seeking the sun, the moon, and the stars, and finding more than she ever could have imagined. It sounds lovely. It has some good reviews on here. We have a review saying an amazing creation by Tamora Pierce and enchanting by Natasha Nagan. I'm very excited to read this. Alright, book number 3, Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James. This is a new epic fantasy from looks of it as part of a series. And again, I mean, book covers, guys, are getting so gorgeous. It has a review on the back by Neil Gaiman, and it says, Black Leopard Red Wolf is the kind of novel I never realised I was missing until I read it. A dangerous, hallucinatory ancient Africa which becomes a fantasy world as well realised as anything Tolkien made, with language as powerful as Angela Carter's. It's as deep and crafty as Gene Wolfe, bloodier than Robert E. Howard, and all Marlon James. It's something very new that feels old in the best way. I cannot wait for the next installment. Now, what is really interesting is, as we all know as fantasy readers, everything is in Europe and it's getting old, and finally, it's not. Let me read you guys the blurb. The child is dead. There is nothing left to know. Tracker is a hunter known in the 13 Kingdoms as one who has a nose, and he always works alone. But he breaks this rule when he joins a band seeking a lost child. His companions are strange and dangerous, from a giant to a witch to a shape-shifting leopard, and each hides their own secrets. As they follow the boy's scent from perfumed citadels to infested rivers to enchanted darklands set upon by murderous foes, Tracker wonders, who is this mysterious boy? Why don't people want him found? And crucially, who is telling the truth and who is lying? The Washington Post says spectacular. We also have a #1 Sunday Times bestseller, and the Observer says furiously gripping. I'm gripped. We still have 4 books, guys. The next book is actually one that is one for my book club that I'm in with Jazz over at Red Panda Reads, and it is Of Women and Salt by Gabriela Garcia. Now, I feel like this one almost needs no introduction. It has been a huge hit. It is supposed to be very intriguing. Again, with most of the book club books, it is one that I probably wouldn't normally read because I read to escape. As we all know with the romantic fantasy I read, I don't think this is an escape, but it's going to be one of those books I get a feeling you have to read. So we're gonna read it. It has loads of good reviews. We have Extraordinary by Elizabeth MacNeil, I Devoured It, Kieran Millwood Hargrave, Mesmerizing, Washington Post, Fascinating by the Stylist. It is a New York Times bestseller. I love how bright it is as well. There's yet more reviews on the back. Washington Post says a mesmerizing patchwork of determination, courage, and survival. New York Times captures the hope and pain of immigration. Harper's Bazaar, a sweeping tour de force about addiction, displacement, and the legacy of trauma. Angie Cruz Garcia's strong, willful women negotiating how to survive in this world are easy to fall for. And Roxane Gay captures the lives of Cuban women with precision and generosity and beauty. It's got a lot of good reviews. It looks like a fantastic book. I'll read you guys the blurb. We are force. We are more than we think we are. 1866, Cuba. Maria Isabel works in a cigar factory as her country buckles under political upheaval. Soon she begins to see marriage and motherhood as her only options, but the sounds of war are approaching. Almost 100 years later, as Maria Isabel's descendant Dolores watches her husband make for the mountains in answer to Fidel Castro's call to arms, she decides to commit an act of violence to protect her children, even if it might destroy her daughter Carmen's world. In Miami in 2016, Carmen wrestles with her past as she fights to save her daughter Jeanette from addiction. But Jeanette must save herself. She must learn her family's history, and so she travels to Cuba to her grandmother's crumbling house, in whose walls lies a secret that might just tie together this fearless line of women. It sounds very interesting. It is another short book to read, which I think is probably going to be good because it's going to be hard hitting. Excited to read it. Another book club read. We'll see how it goes. The next 2 books are related because we kind of did a whoops. If you guys don't know, me and Matt are massive fans of Naomi Novik. She is a fantasy writer, beautiful work. In Mr. B's Emporium, which is a fantastic bookshop in Bath, Matt picked up this last minute as we were at the till. Is The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. It's a Sunday Times bestseller. It is gorgeously green. Now, don't know if you guys can see what it says there. It says Lesson 2 of the Scholarmance. Lesson 2. Meaning this is a book series. This is not the first time this has happened to us. We do this often. So once we realised this, we then went to Waterstones, and of course we picked up the first of this series, which is A Deadly Education, Lesson 1 of the Scholarmance by Naomi Novik, which is again a Sunday Times bestseller. So I'll read you guys the blurb for book 1 first. Then I'll say spoiler alert and give you guys a time for if you don't want to read the blurb of book 2. A Deadly Education. Kieran Millwood Hargrave says a dark, smart, delicious tale. On the back we have yet more reviews. We have Novik deliciously undoes expectations about magic schools, destined heroes and family legacies. A gorgeous book. Stephanie Garber says skillfully combines sharp humour with layers of imagination to build a fantasy that delights on every level. Stephanie Garber is the author of the Caraval series. I have done a review on that series, link is above me now. Catherine Arden, The Dark School of Magic I've Been Waiting For. Pierce Brown, savage, inventive and soulful. N.K. Jemisin, hilarious and wild, and BuzzFeed, I love this book. I do love a good magic school, so I'm very excited. Let me read you guys the blurb. Enter a school of magic unlike any you have ever encountered. There are no teachers, no holidays, friendships are purely strategic, and the odds of survival are never equal. Once you're inside, there are only two ways out. You graduate or you die. Elle Higgins is uniquely prepared for the school's many dangers. She may be without allies, but she possesses a dark power strong enough to level mountains and wipe out untold millions. Never mind easily destroy the countless monsters that prowl the school. Except she might accidentally kill all the other students too, so Elle is trying her hardest not to use it. That is, unless she has no other choice. Ooh, we gotta love a dangerous woman. Alright guys, spoiler alert, I'm gonna read you guys the blurb from book 2 of that series, which is The Last Graduate. Spoiler alert, skip to this time here if you want to skip to my last book of this book haul. So this one, Catherine Arden says, The Dark School of Magic I've Been Waiting For. We then have on the back more great reviews. Kieran Millwood Hargrave says, a dark, smart, delicious tale set to redefine everything you might think you know about schools for magic. A deadly education is dangerously addictive. Kirsten White, Eyeball, meltingly brilliant. Holly Black, a gorgeous book. Stephanie Garber, I love this brilliant book. And Terry Brooks, relentlessly innovative and entertaining. I'll read you guys the blurb now. Do you dare to return to the Scholarmance? The Dark School of Magic has always done its best to devour its students, but now that Elle has reached her final year and somehow won herself a handful of allies along the way, it's suddenly developed a very particular craving for her. As the savagery of the school ramps up, Elle is determined that she will not give in, not to the moles, not to fate, and especially not to the Scholarmance. But as the spectre of graduation looms, the deadly final ritual that leaves few students alive, if she and her allies are to make it out, Elle will need to realize that sometimes winning the game means throwing out all the rules. Will they make it? I don't know. Do you know? I just love how gorgeous dark green this book is as well. Green is my favorite color, so I love this. And it's now time for my final book of this book haul, and it's one I have been desperate to read, and it is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Lynn Tann, and it is a Sunday Times bestseller. I mean, look how beautiful this book is, guys. It is gorgeous. It has a lot of great reviews. On the front we have one from Stephanie Garber saying epic, romantic and enthralling. I love this book. On the back we have Shannon, I'm going to butcher this, Shannon Chakraborty says a lush dreamy gem of a novel. Andrea Stewart, strikingly evocative, tense and heartfelt. Elizabeth Lim, who is the author of Six Crimson Cranes, takes a beloved Chinese legend and reimagines it into a gorgeously spun romantic fantasy. Shelley Parker Chan magnificently conjures the romantic yet dangerous dazzle of this immortal world, but never loses track of the shining human heart of her tale. Oh, it sounds beautiful, and it is a retelling inspired by the Mid-Autumn Legend, so that is another book to check out, and it's baby pink inside. I normally don't like pink, but it's growing on me. I'll read you guys the blurb. I'm very sorry if I butchered the names in this. There are many legends about my mother. Raised on the moon, Jinyin was unaware she was being hidden from the Celestial Emperor, who exiled her mother for stealing the elixir of immortality. But when her magic flares and Jinyin's existence is discovered, she is forced to flee her home, leaving her mother behind. Alone, powerless, and afraid, Jinyin makes her way to the Celestial Kingdom, a land of wonder and secrets. In disguise, she trains alongside the Emperor's son, mastering archery and magic despite the passion which flames between them. To rescue her mother, Jinyin embarks on a quest confronting legendary creatures and vicious enemies, but when forbidden magic threatens the kingdom, Jinyin must challenge the ruthless Emperor, leaving her torn between losing all she loves or plunging the realm into chaos. Inspired by the legend of Chang'e, the Moon Goddess, this captivating debut weaves Chinese mythology into a sweeping adventure of love, family, immortals, and magic. It sounds fantastic. I'm so happy. I'm so excited to read this. So let's do a recap. So I got The Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Lynn Tann. We got A Deadly Education by Naomi Novik and book 2, which is The Last Graduate by Naomi Novik. We got Of Women and Salt by Gabriela Garcia, which is the book club book I'm reading this month. We got Black Leopard, Red Wolf by Marlon James. And then the 2 books from my sister, we got Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim and Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. All books I am super excited to read. They all look beautiful. They all sound intriguing. I'm a happy bookworm. And thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you'd like to see us since I upload, click that little bell down below. You can also follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Tumblr. I post general bookish pictures as well as my writing tips and unboxings on there. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye.